So, this video is about the program in New Mexico and what I know about the med room and the med situation there. It's a little confusing because I don't have much memory of it. But, anyways, here it is. So, before I ended up in the program in New Mexico, I was on a lot of medications. I mean, lots of them, where my mother would bring people in the room to show them how many pills I was on, and there'd be five, six sometimes in my hand, and I'd be taking them dry. Anyway, so it was lots of meds. When I was in New Mexico, we would have 3 times a day we'd be called to the med room. I would be told to eat a protein bar, a Flintstones vitamin, and I think at one point there was some medication, but honestly, I can't picture the pills themselves. So there couldn't have been much, if anything, for medication there. But the big part to keep in mind is that there was physical abuse and crazy behaviors from the staff members at that point. I'll give you an example. When I wanted, well, for one, they gave me food poisoning more than once before this day. One day, I had no appetite. I believe it was lunch. Yeah, it was lunchtime or breakfast. No appetite whatsoever. Now, it could have been because I kept on getting food poisoning. It could be because of maybe some medication, but I don't think that that was it. There might have been medication involved, maybe not. Maybe just Flintstone vitamins and protein bars, but it's hard to say with all the pills in my life. But I don't remember at that given time there being too much of medications. But there was a lot of other stuff going on that was completely nuts to do to a child. Like if a fridge breaks down and the food goes back for a couple days and the meat smells rotten and the milk has chunks in it and the eggs smell rotten, you don't then just feed it for a couple days to the children and give them all food poisoning. Half of them refused and the other half we tried refusing, but we couldn't. And I'm going to explain why. Because this was another day, but there probably wasn't anything wrong with this later day. I've already got food poisoning a couple times, and at this point, we're going in to get food, and I have no appetite. I can't even look at the food at this point, and I tell the staff member, no, I'm not going to eat. And this was a multiple occurrence. The getting the food poisoning only happened 3 or 4 times. One time that was deathly ill for more than a week. I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed for a week. I couldn't stand up. I was puking so bad I was peeing and shitting myself. It was terrible. Some of the worst sickness I ever had. Eating rotten meat and rotten milk will do that to you, and I was forced to. But anyways, a month later, I'm given a choice because I'm refusing to eat the food that I'm given. It looks gross. It smells awful. I've already got food poisoning multiple times, so I'm telling them I'll pass. I'll starve. That's okay. I'm telling them that, I'm now like, I don't know, 9 years old, and I'm telling them I'm going to, maybe 10 years old, I'm going to tell them that I'd rather starve than get poisoned again. That's terrible that I had to make that choice. But here's what's even worse. Then the staff gave me a choice. I either eat the food, no matter if it's poison, not, whatever, or they're going to choke me. They're going to do a special restraint where they take your own arms, put it around your throat, and squeeze. Some other nicer staff members will do it around your chest, and they wouldn't pull super hard, but there was at least two that would pull so hard that it would hurt, and there was one that would pull it so hard you would get bruises and around the neck. Only one staff member would do it around the neck and make us blue till we couldn't breathe and then throw us on the floor. This was really bad. This guy was a big man. A heavy set, way past 260 pounds, all muscle. Could have been a professional African American boxer. Like literally, he could have been a heavyweight boxer for his build. And he's choking out 10-year-olds and 13-year-olds, and literally causing bruises on our neck and arms. It was really bad. So he gave us a choice: we either eat the damn food if it's poisonous or not, or get choked out in the other room. Um, Yeah, that day I took the choking out again. And this should have never happened. This should have never happened. But the key point of this to take away is I don't remember too much medication at this time. Before I moved to Texas and New Mexico, I remember so much medication and so many incidents and an overdose and Epicac. In Texas, I don't remember too much, just normal kid stuff on my end, but not too much craziness. A lot of doctors, though. I do remember my mother pushing for me to go to doctor or doctor and then getting very upset at the doctor when we went to leave. I remember lots of those. Um, but I don't remember lots of pills. New Mexico, I don't remember lots of pills. I remember a lot of doctor behaviors pushing for there to be something wrong with me for my mother, but the doctor's not quite feeding into it. And then back at Massachusetts, boom, lots of pills, lots of feeding into it, a lot of made up make believe from my mother, some fantasy that she was pushing about me. My father was feeding into it terribly, terribly. Um, and I ended up feeding into it eventually, and just, I mean, it wasn't like I just said no. I would say no, and that doesn't matter. So it's getting overrode no matter what I did, no matter how much I protested, no matter how much I tried to speak the truth, no matter how much I caught them red-handed. There was always some excuse. Well, that only happened one time. Well, she's an adult. She can take your pills all she wants. There was always, oh well, I can, don't have to take the blame for my own actions. I could have left the blame on you all I want. Statements like that clearly show that there's something wrong. So there was a lot of that, but the medication is the key part that I would like to get into because there was so much medication in the beginning that my mother was pushing for in Massachusetts, and then I noticed when we were in Texas and in New Mexico, there was less medication. My mother would be upset that the doctors didn't agree with her, so something was going on there.